Welcome back to Formula One Breakdown Podcast. I'm here with Aiden Gaming, and we are talking about round 3, Australia. Greetings, Aiden. Aiden's going to take over, actually. So,
Hello.
Aiden, are you bricking it?
I am ready. So, a lot has gone on since we last spoke a couple of weeks ago. So, throughout the week, we've had Nelson Peak, Nelson Peak, or whatever it is.
PK. Nelson PK.
PK. Okay. But, so we may remember a couple last year or something like that. He made a racial slur against Lewis Hamilton. And it's just gone past to the court now, and he's been told he has to pay 5 million reals, which is around about 953,000.
British pounds?
Seems euros at the moment.
Right. To Hamilton, because he needs more money, right?
Yeah. For apparently a racial slur, or C.
Right. Okay. Fine. Whatever. I mean,
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah,
It doesn't belong in F1. We all know this. And if the Muppet Nelson Piquet has gone ahead, and I haven't even read about it. The first time I heard about it is when you told me about it, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, there you go. But I can understand a fine, but to somebody who's earning millions a year, really, what's he going to do with that? I hope that Lewis Hamilton takes that and donates it to a charity or something. I mean, I know he does a lot for the good of everybody else and is very charitable and whatnot, but I hope he doesn't pocket that and get himself a six-pack. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, I understand the reason behind it and the reason why they've done it, but I don't know. Whatever. It's a case of like whatever. I mean, I think the biggest thing to talk about is the fact that after we finished round 2, we in the round 2 sort of like breakdown, we talked about McLaren and they need to get rid of Zach Brown.
Oh,
and
yeah.
What happened the next day? Oh boy, a whole restructure.
Oh, yeah.
We called it.
James Key now. I suppose we did call it. James Key's left now, so that's partly good news. Still not very good news since we've still got Zach, but it's partly good news, and their performance actually improved a little bit. But we'll get into that a little later.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to have quite a few new people joining the team now. It's just not going to be down to one person. But,
although saying that though, you can see how clever a maneuver this is, because he's taken himself out of the firing line and he's got somebody else below him that's going to take all the heat now. Although he's still calling the shots, so he's covered his own ass basically.
Maybe, but
Maybe
he could still, but he still could be more deluded. Though I don't think it's going to be hard to pick out parts that are. I think everyone knows how deluded he is, and he's just, as you say, it's going to put the blame on other people, not himself, like he already is.
Yeah, he's covered his arse. I think that's exactly what he's done, and that was and he said it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction to the last 2 performances. How could it not be anything but a knee-jerk reaction?
I don't know. Honestly, I do not know.
That is when I read that, I laughed out loud. I actually did an LOL. I actually laughed out loud. I thought to myself, you muppet, that is a complete and utter knee-jerk reaction. Keys left on bad terms, and you can't have bad terms with somebody for months and months. They said this was in the making for about a year, this whole restructure. Bullshit. That was a knee-jerk reaction, man. Come on.
Yeah, that is definitely BS.
Yeah,
but something,
anyway, there you go.
Something that really is a little interesting is the Formula One Academy to be held on the race weekends in 2024. That's something I wasn't expecting,
So
and
what
I
is
don't
that
think
then?
you was expecting. I think it's I don't know. I think it's like the newbies or something like that, but I don't know.
Is this like sort of like seeing if you're good enough to be in the FIA calendar, starting with with F3 and so on? Is that what that is? Sort of like cut your teeth in the Formula One world
I,
or Formula world?
I'm not sure. They did have the Formula One this week, no Formula 3 this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly don't know.
Interesting.
But
I think that if that's what did they call it?
Formula One Academy.
Formula One Academy. So basically, you've come from karting and whatever your background is, and now you're getting into the FIA structure, and that means coming
Right?
out, seeing how you do in qualify. Well, driving around tracks, and I guess they have some sort of barometer that they can test, some sort of bar that they can test the drivers against to see if they've got the stuff. And let's be honest here, you can't get into Formula One without having sponsorship or Formula World, as I'm going to call it now, F3, F2, Formula E, and all that sort of stuff. You can't get into that unless you have sponsors or potential sponsors and money. Basically, is what it boils down to, right? Interesting.
But
Very interesting.
that seems to be what's gone on. But we can't forget the pit boxes. No pits. No. God damn it. The grid boxes. There you go. They've been 20 centimeters bigger than what they previously were. Wonder
Yeah.
why that was.
A knee
Hello,
jerk reaction
Alonso.
to Alonso. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know that they were complaining that it's sometimes when you're sitting in the cockpit of the
Yeah, you can't
car,
see anything.
you can't see anything, but you can. So they've extended that little yellow line where the wheels must be behind.
But the
They've
funniest thing,
painted that line so that now they can look sort of just a little bit out and see just a little bit. It is tricky.
is that Alonso's even said he's still not faithful in it. He's even said that,
Mm.
and I think and him saying that, I think he's correct in saying that, as we saw what happened to Verstappen, which we'll get on to later on.
Well, you know what? Camera angle played a lot to that as well, as did the shadow from the sun and all that sort of stuff. That was explained on the technical breakdown in Sky Sports. I forget the fella's name, but yeah, we'll touch on that. But anyway, time zones don't make it easy watching this race,
Oh,
particularly from where I'm at, or even more so
and
from where
especially
you're
where
at.
I
Yeah, yeah, 4 o'clock in
am.
the morning and so on. That's not fun.
Up up
Dedication
at
is what it
4
is.
a.m. Up at 4 a.m. Lucky I'm not in school anymore. So, because the next day after that, I'd be tired, really tired. But or whatever. But definitely was up early.
Yeah.
I wasn't even gonna get up early, but I'm pretty glad I did. But
Yeah.
anyway, I think we
I,
should move on to final
you know what?
practice.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I did not see anything on the free practice. The only free practice that I saw was FP3. I did not see FP1 and
Oh,
FP2.
so that's lucky you got me here. So let's get into this. So it's a very action-packed first practice. 2 red flags for a couple of incidents. I believe one of them being Sonoda having a crash at turn 1, I believe, going into the gravel and damaging his brand new floor that they put in the car. So
Right, right. So that
he was
explains,
basically
right,
running. That's why he was pretty slow in the race, because he was
right.
running his older instead of his newer floor.
What do you make of
So
Tsunoda?
it's a challenge. That one's a hard one to. That one's hard.
I have to say, having watching Drive to Survive, and I know this is a little bit sort of tricky to use that as a the litmus test, but I don't like Tsunoda. I think he comes with a whole bunch of sponsors probably, and it feels almost like he's paid his way to be there, rather than on merit. Because I just doesn't he doesn't I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the brashness and the arrogance that he has, but then again, most Formula One drivers have that. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I'm not a fan.
I can't be off off grid. He's probably a little happy person, especially with Gasly and all that stuff. But when he is in a race, he is coming across like a bit of a jerk.
Hmm. Yeah, I just
Swearing,
listen out to his radio calls and stuff like that. It's just like,
swearing all the time and
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I don't know, but whatever. They
The
all swear.
this is the best part. This is what we're actually going to be speaking about most of Australia, FIA. It strikes again more GPS issues, meaning cars not knowing where they're supposed to be,
Yep,
causing traffic and mayhem.
yep. I did. I said FP2. It must have been the one that I watched, and FP3 then, because I recall that it's like I was like, hang on a second. They call in Albert Park a street track, which it is, but it's got a hell of a lot more space than Jeddah does to overtake and to move out of the way. What the hell is going on with
I
the
don't know.
FIA and
This
GPS?
this is the third time we've spoke about the FIA now. There's a lot more to speak about as we get into. But I don't know what's wrong with the FIA. But it is causing drivers to make more mistakes. From
Mm.
every single team, it seems like everyone had mistakes throughout the practice and a few in qualifying as well.
Hmm.
So that is
FIA. I call it the Messi. What's it? The Massey? Michael Massey. He was there for Australia. I call it the Massey
talk,
effect.
talking about that. It, I don't think it went down well that he was there, really, especially with Tech Rabbit and
Yeah,
Prof.
Ted Kravitz
They,
and Crofty weren't exactly peachy about it, but whatever.
no,
Whatever. I
they
mean,
did.
he's not exactly barred from it for life, so I guess he can be there as much as he wants. But yeah, because he's in charge of
He was
um,
originally the race director.
yeah, but he's in charge now of some
He's
drivers. I don't know, racing club or something like that. I don't know, whatever, the FIA racing club or something, whatever.
but
Like this, like saloon car racing or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it, man.
V8 supercars or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
supercars. That's it. That's V8 supercars. Yeah, he's in charge of that sort of scenario. So that's why he was there. But still, whatever. I
Yes,
think there's still bitterness over what he did from the English press and media because of Hamilton being. And I use this inverted commas. You can't see it, but I'm using it. He was cheated. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not getting involved. Okay, so
yeah, well,
FP1 Verstappen on a 118.7. FP2 Alonso 118.8. FP3 Verstappen 117.5. Alonso 117.7. Let's not
it,
forget Ocon a 117.9. Where the hell did that come? And then Mercedes Russell on a 117.9. What the hell? Where did this pace come from,
I
Mercedes?
don't know. I don't know. But moving on to the final practice 2, Stroll had a scary moment. Luckily, he managed to save the car, but managed a bit of a scary incident of letting the old rear end slip out a bit and nearly contacting the wall. But again, more traffic, meaning more issues.
Yeah.
There wasn't the same amount of driver mistakes, but
Are the
the
drivers far
traffic.
too reliant on their race or track engineers or whatever telling them get out of the
Yes,
way,
they are.
traffic coming? They got mirrors, haven't they?
Yes, they do have
I,
mirrors, but
can you imagine trying to
uh,
tell like you're driving a car, it's so low down to the ground, you're trying to steer the thing, trying to not stall it, and going at 300 kilometers an hour to try and get out of the way of a car that's going faster, using little wing
the
mirrors.
the thing is, not everyone can use mirrors though, but we'll get into that later on. But again, Hamilton had some luck. He definitely had some luck from the first practice. Then he also gets a bit more luck as well. But that's all I really got for the final practice too. Didn't really pick out too much.
Mm. An FP3?
However, okay, another red flag again. I'm noticing quite a lot of a trend here.
Mm-hmm.
A few spins as well. Then unexpectedly, I'm not sure if you noticed, but Ocon's shoe got stuck under the pedal in that final practice.
Is that why you were so fast?
Probably. And
Maybe you should do it more often.
oh yeah. Then the main question is, what is going on at Red Bull? What
Couple of
is
gremlins
going?
are appearing, aren't they?
What is going on there?
I don't know
Uh,
how you can come out of a magnificent race from Perez to Australia and just be woeful and terrible and not being able to steer.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Because that was very, very strange.
Oh yeah.
Very strange.
So obviously, Verstappen and Perez know there is something wrong with the car, but Horner is saying there's nothing wrong with the car.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They apparently replaced the brake pads or something on Perez's car, and believe the power units well,
Yeah.
making him start from the pits and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Uh
But
and anyway,
that's qualifying anyway. But I mean, still,
yeah,
yeah, it's just I don't know. A couple of gremlins have appeared in the last race, and we say that with Verstappen starting 15th
well,
and finishing second. You know, Jesus, the
as I
triple
think,
DRS working wonderful.
oh yeah, but we'll get into the race though, because that DRS was a bit on Perez's car. But I think you've got to say in the last one for Selby about Checo versus Max,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be focusing more on them two, meaning other drivers. Why them two are trying to battle it out for whatever instead of trying to be two teammates. Other teams are going to take note of that and are probably going to say, oh yeah, why them two are battling it out for some weird reason. That opens up a nice little gap or whatever for other teams to say, oh yeah, we're going to take lead from you or
Well,
championship.
I can only imagine that the other teams are licking their lips, waiting for it
Oh yeah, they
to
are.
fall apart. I mean, I don't think it'll fall apart. I think Christian Horner is far too clever and wily of a character to have that be the issue. There is going to come a point where I think it may get ugly. Probably a bit like Verstappen versus Ricardo kind of moments. And it may happen at Baku. We'll have to wait and see. But
Oh yeah, talking. Yeah,
that's going to be interesting with all the upgrades coming as well and everything like that. But Baku is one that I do not want to miss at the end of this month, and that's 3 weeks away, dude. That's crazy, man. What are we going to do in between then? Good grief, it's too long a
I,
break. Come on now.
I definitely know one thing. I definitely know Alpine's going to be really busy between that,
Oh,
but we'll get onto
jeepers.
that
And
later
yeah,
on.
oh boy. Oh boy.
The next
Oh
thing I
boy. Those that have
next thing
not
I
seen the race, oh boy. There's going to be a
the next thing I
lot going
do
on.
want to
Yep.
talk about is it a good or bad move from Hassan Alpha to put a new power unit in the car already at the third race? They've still got 20 more or something like that, or 19 or whatever races to go.
And they only have 2
And
power units.
yes, and the next one means they get a penalty because they've already used one of their power units.
Now, the question is, why did the FIA feel that that was a good idea to limit the power units?
I don't
I,
know.
I obviously understand this is in relation to capping the costs and all that sort of stuff. So they've obviously got to limit that and get everybody in line and stuff like that. But I don't know if that is such a good idea. How can you?
No,
I know technology moves at such an incredible pace, far beyond anything that we can imagine, particularly in the F1 world. But how can they make 2 power units last 22 races or 23 races? It's just ridiculous.
I honestly don't know. I feel it's a little too early just to change it. That means they'll probably be changing to the next one at round 6, which I believe is Monaco.
But then
If
again, Red Bull have changed one in Perez's, right?
check rates, yeah.
Right. So he's got one left, or he's using the last one now. So, phew, jeepers, that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out and who takes penalties. I mean, if you think about it, if Red Bull keep winning the way that they are, they can secure the championship by race 17, 18 or whatever, even maybe even before, depending on how they run. They can just then take new power units at their own beck and call.
Hmm.
You know, whatever. What are you going to give me? You're not going to give me, you know, you can give me grid penalties and time penalties, but you can't take away the fact that we won the championship. You can't take away championship points.
But talking about Red Bull, I think we should move to qualifying.
What about the F2? Did you watch it?
Not F2.
The F2.
There wasn't any F2.
It was F2.
It's F3.
Was that
No, there
F3?
wasn't.
It was F2. Iwasa.
No, I didn't watch it.
No,
So
F2 was great. I enjoyed it. Iwasa had a great race, I thought. But anyway, that's whatever. Okay, so we'll just go straight to qualifying for F1 then.
I didn't see anything for the Formula 2, only Formula 3.
What kind of podcast? Oh no, it's a Formula One breakdown podcast. Damn it, I thought it was a FIA podcast. Anyway, okay, moving swiftly along. Qualifying.
But we do speak about other things, so we'll probably speak about something else later on. But anyway, qualifying. I was surprised about Checo. As I said to you when we was watching it, so for everyone, we jumped him round about the last qualifying 3. So we completely missed out 1 and 2. So I don't think we're going to speak a lot about qualifying. But as I picked out in qualifying 3, I said, hang on, where's Perez? Then we started to speculate that something's gone on. And obviously something did, as you picked out. He went straight off, no lap time or anything, so meaning he was last. So I'm surprised by that. Obviously there is something.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too. I mean, we were all getting excited about how everything was going on in qualifying. We were like, but hang, where the hell is Sergio? Where the hell's Perez? Where's the other Red Bull? And yeah, I didn't get to see it. I saw the replays of it.
I see it.
Yeah, power unit. I mean, jeepers. Crappy.
Then
Or braking issues or whatever, tailwind or whatever. Yeah, not good. Not good. More gremlins, which makes it great viewing for us, obviously, but As for a team, not good, not good at all. And then Mercedes come in with a hell of a qualifying. What the flippin' heck happened there?
I don't know. Both our reactions were like, what the flip?
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
it was from slow to hang on, how are you literally in second and third?
Yeah,
So obviously they are.
yeah.
This is going to be
They're obviously doing. I know that they brought they didn't bring any setups. They just changed any new.
changed.
They just changed the programs, the setup programs.
They
So
changed a couple
yeah,
of things around on the Friday, then the Saturday. Holy moly!
yeah, something else.
Then
Jeepers.
Aston Martin. Jesus Christ! That
Yep,
was
that Alonso's quali was pretty damn sweet. At one point, I was on the edge of my seat, going, "Come on, qualifying first, come on!" That was
even
super
Stroll.
close.
That
That
was
Aston
also
Martin is looking beautiful, man. It is looking so wonderfully set and wow, looking good, looking very good. And then McLaren, oh no, not again.
out in the first and out in qualifying too. So, so obviously,
That message to Lando, whatever 13th or
yeah,
15th
I
or whatever.
know.
I know. It's just like, oh come on, this is not good.
I
It's not
absolutely,
good.
I felt heartbroken to be honest.
I
And
did
look
too.
at
I was like, oh no, Lando, come on, man, what's going on? It's like it's become the norm now. But saying that, are
he's too
Ferrari
used
the
to.
new McLaren? That is a question.
Uh,
Are Ferrari the new McLaren? Especially based on how the race went.
yeah, it's hard to say. We're only 3 races in, and until we get to around about the halfway, we can probably say, or the last race before the halfway mark, we may say, yeah, they are the new McLaren, but it's hard to say. They're definitely faster than McLaren,
Who
but
isn't?
it,
No,
uh,
I joke. I joke. Yeah, I
uh,
mean, yeah, it's
Haas,
yeah,
Williams,
Haas. Yeah, but then again,
Alfa
Haas got
Tauri,
points. So let's
but
not take
we'll get
away.
into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Oh,
Then
Magnussen.
someone
Oh boy.
who for Sarge as well. That wasn't what he wanted. Car broke down on
No, yeah.
it. That was
It seemed like a tale of two halves, isn't it? Because if you think about the way that the Williams raced at Jeddah or Bahrain or Jeddah,
Jeddah.
how good was that Williams, man? And then, well, not good, but I mean, like a solid sort of like race
It's
and
better.
so on. It was
It's
getting better and better and getting faster and faster. And then, of course, speaking of qualifying, you come in with Albon and in that Williams, it's like how what?
um. I'm speechless with Albon. That is
That
that's what
was
I'm
a
just speechless.
monumental effort, and to get a Williams into quali 3 is just like unheard of. And that was just by far the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I was like, yeah, because I'm a Williams fan, always have been. No matter how much I diss them and moan about them, and I'm also a McLaren fan, but I'm more of an underdog fan than I am with the big boys. But to see a Williams get into quali 2 is like, yo, come on, quali 3, you out of your mind. No ways. Didn't I just couldn't think it could happen.
But obviously it did. Which is it's. I don't think he's expecting to say Williams in the top 10. I don't think anyone was expecting to say that. I was
Yeah.
expecting to say, yeah, they're not going to be in the points. But
but they were,
Yeah.
and then obviously Hulkenberg as well in the Haas, man. He is wow. You wouldn't have
Oh,
sworn he's been away for a couple of years.
oh no. And someone else I want to speak about is Danny Rick. Ted picked out in his notebook how thingy he looked.
Yeah, how sad he
Sad
looked
or
on the
whatever.
pit wall. But then again, whatever. I mean, he looked like he was having a good time during the race,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Oh,
whatever.
and the funniest
He's
part
not
was
racing, so move on.
no, it's still to do with Formula One. But talking about Hassan, Danny Rick, and Hulkenberg, on Instagram has put a post on there, and they were speaking to Danny Rick, and the funniest part was it's been a long time since he said it. He said, "Oh yeah, have you got someone called the name of Nico Hulkenberg or whatever it is?"
Hickenberg.
Hulkenberg.
Hickenberg. And he said it, didn't he?
Yeah, he said it. So we have that for an entire year now. So,
Hickenberg. Brilliant.
but again, I believe. Oh no, I don't know. There are talks about Haas taking Danny Rick as well,
I don't
but
know. I don't know. I
I
mean,
don't.
I look. I could only imagine that from Ricardo's point of view that he just wants to get back into F1 racing again, regardless of who it's with. And you can't blame him for that. But Hickenberg and Ricardo in the same team, Magnussen is not performing. Clearly, I think Magnussen's given up.
One's a hard one, but I think we should move on to the Sunday, which should have been the race at a really early goddamn morning. That was
Yes.
interesting. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
Slow
I mean,
start for Alonso and Max. Again,
yes. And those Mercedes off the line are super quick, man.
we speak about Perez being so slow. I think the Red Bulls are getting there's something seriously wrong with it. They shouldn't be getting a slow start. We've noticed it from Bahrain,
Yep.
Selby, and now Australia.
Yep.
And Perez,
Yeah. I
now
mean,
it's gone to
there
Verstappen. As you
is.
say, the Gremlins are
Yeah,
coming out to
there's something funny going on with those starts, man. They're getting hunkered down and they're not performing on the starts as, because those Mercedes, jeez, they launched bloody hell the power and the pace, not only to keep up but to take the lead 1 and 2.
is
Just wow,
crazy.
big balls, very big balls.
Yes. Well done to Russell, really.
Unfortunately, sure,
Um,
that's so.
yes, we'll get on to that.
Oh,
But I think you should talk about Ferrari for the first part of the journey. Charles, he was clipped by Stroll and spun into the gravel and already, and he was only a few laps in as well, like 2 or something like that.
yeah,
It hasn't been
it hasn't
it
been great
hasn't gone well
for Charles.
for
Yeah, even his younger brother in F2 was yeah, although he finished third, his brother, but still, yeah, they there's something. There's always something about Ferrari. That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
There's always something. It's never plain sailing. It's never easy going. It's always a struggle. And again,
Yeah,
with a top tier team, it shouldn't be a struggle like that.
I've also noticed that we'll get onto Carlos later on, but I'll speak slightly about him now. I feel that he is currently leading the team. Charles is doing whatever he's doing, and Carlos is there trying to bring all the points in. He's trying to bring that team home, but Not in this race, though.
It looks
Unfortunately.
like Science. I agree. I think Science is leading the team, and I think he is trying everything. He's got more of a fighter mentality when it comes to racing, and it just looks like Charles just wants to go through the motions. You know, like almost like just complete a race, no matter where I finish. Just complete a race, and the top 10 would be great. Just to finish a race in its entirety.
The only race he has actually finished was Selby. He hasn't. He didn't finish Bahrain because he had issues,
Yep.
and Carlos finished Bahrain. Selby, Australia. Both
Kind
of them
of.
didn't. It was kind of there.
Oh, I don't know how we even begin to decipher this madness, dude. This
But
race
I
was just mad.
we'll definitely be having a debate later about Carlos, but because I know we both had different thoughts, as I did ask you earlier. But again, Albon. This is the first red flag. Albon had a nice little instant into the wall turn, or something like that. Could be wrong.
Yep. Travesty.
Whatever it is.
Travesty for Williams. What could have been, I guess, maybe, but still, you know, that's what this whole race was. What could have been
Oh yeah.
for everybody.
I do feel sorry for Albon.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely. I mean, you know, they have scored points already, Williams, which is unheard of. But to be that high up in the grid and to bomb out that early is just, it's just like, oh no, come on.
yeah.
But
But
saying that, I mean, halfway through the race, you're looking. You know, I know we'll jump backwards and forwards, and this is how this podcast is: two guys at a pub having a talk about the race and everything. But McLaren was showing some really good promise throughout the race. Really good promise, which is totally opposite of how their qualifying went. So what the hell happened?
I don't know. It was also like that in I forgot where else that was. But anyway, yeah. But as I said, first red flag for the race, was it necessary? Again, FIA. Was that one necessary? So you had the old telehandler going out to pick the old car up, but then they decided to stop the race just to clear a bit of gravel off the
I
track.
think I think what they
Was
could
it
have done.
necessary?
What they could have done was there's a lot of debris. There was a lot of debris, a lot of carbon fiber. I think in that one it was worthy of a red flag because there was a lot of debris on the track. I mean, we've got to remember
Really?
these cars are going at super fast speeds over debris of like carbon fiber and stuff. It's punctures, could be more accidents, could be, God forbid, a death or whatever. I think that was the right call. The last red flag, I haven't, no, I don't think so. But we'll get into that as and when.
Well, I'm different. I don't really think it was necessary. As I was watching the Sky podcast yesterday or something like that, I forgot who said it. They could have just got a safety car to slow the entire pack down, and while they're cleaning up the team, quickly get the older sweeper in. While the cars are going slowly, make sure the sweep doesn't get in the
So
way. But
basically, what we're saying is then instead of stopping a race and making it safe for the marshals and the telehandler, because if anybody drives into that telehandler, it's fucking curtains basically. But so what we're saying is, as opposed to dropping the pace down by 40%, drop it down by 60%, the pace, even 70%, and go super slow just through that little section, giving the marshals enough time to sweep up and everything like that, and then let the cars go and sweep up again. All the while, and I don't know if you heard Max speaking in the green room before going on to the podium. He was saying that, but the safety car, although it looks fast on the screen, is going super slow compared to the F1 cars, and he was saying
so
the tires just cool down so quickly that it's actually more dangerous.
Yes. But even stopping though, it's dangerous as well. So
But what is the
for
parameter?
people,
Yeah, is the parameter for to keep the marshals safe and to keep the car or keep the cars going round, or to just stop the race, clean up the mess, and start the race under safe
but
conditions.
but so if people don't know, Formula One cars tires are heated to a certain percent, and so they're warm, and that's why they're not allowed. That's why there's moaning about the temperatures and all that stuff. They don't. Obviously, that one's a hard one, and to keep stopping and starting isn't the best thing for them tires. Really, it's better if they kept moving. But Hamilton, I don't know what his deal was. He slowed right down, and the back of the grid, he absolutely had a massive
That
incident
was that was bad.
directly
Yeah, that
where
was bad.
Albon had his crash, and
Yeah,
uh,
that could have been disastrous. But he was in
and
the right though to do so.
but I don't think he was really.
But he was by the
They
rule book.
should,
He was.
yeah, but he shouldn't though.
But he's allowed to.
It, but he shouldn't though.
But
We're
he's
gonna go.
but he's allowed to by the rule book. You know, the rules are there to be upheld, and the
Yeah,
driving is defined by the rules. There's a
but
difference between the driver's rules and the
yeah,
book.
but speaking about safety though, that wasn't very safe, was it? And I could
No, I agree. It
understand,
wasn't. It wasn't safe. But
and
by
Verstappen's
the
was.
code of the rule, he did it absolutely spot on. He was totally within his rights to do it.
Yeah, but again, we are on about Hamilton. So obviously,
I don't like Hamilton, but you know that's just my opinion. But he was totally
but we
within his
know,
rights.
yeah, but we know how the FIA are with certain drivers. Sorry.
Oh, of course, there's
Yeah.
favoritism. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So,
Of course there is.
but
But still, according to the rule book, he was totally within his rights, as Sky Sports reported. And if that's what they say and that's the law, then he's totally within his rights. That's why there was no action taken against him. It was ridiculous when he did it and the way he did it, yeah. But, you know, does he have eyes all the way back to the back of the lineup? You know?
yeah, I
No,
get he was the leader of the pack, but very dangerous, very dangerous.
not his fault.
And but it is his fault.
But it's not.
Yeah, but take all the rules away, it is his fault. So, but
Imagine taking
anyway,
all the rules away. How fun would that be?
well, whatever.
Come
As I
on
say,
now.
we are gonna have a bit of a debate through this. But anyway, Checo. Let's start from him. Started last place. No, yeah, started last. Had Bottas behind him. Made up some places throughout
Just a
the
few.
grid.
Just a
Yeah,
few.
just a few.
His
Just a
overtaking
few.
prowess was just incredible, and thanks to that triple DRS that the Red Bull has, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Although that to me was like the high of the race for me. That some of that overtaking positions that he was doing it on track, it's just like a no go, but he made it happen. Brilliant,
Mm.
fantastic, absolutely. That was wonderful to watch.
But the person who was really impressive was my good friend Lando Norris.
He held his own.
What on eh, what on earth? That is incredible. Very incredible from Lando and even Oscar as well. That
Yeah, they
was
did well. I mean, McLaren got points. I mean, you know, you couldn't have asked for more from the
funniest
team.
part is every team has points now, and there are only 3 rounds in
That's a good sign. That's
to
very
each
healthy.
season.
That means
And
everybody's competing for points, which is great. Absolutely
oh
great.
yeah, and
Makes great for viewing at least.
that leads us on to the next point. talking about viewings, the entertainment. There's a debate going on at the moment. Is it for entertainment purposes only, this sport, or something? I forgot what else it was. But there is currently a massive debate going on about the FIA and all that stuff. So obviously, I don't really want to probably get into it a lot, but it's something definitely worth a talk about. But anyway,
Well, go on then. I'm intrigued.
yeah, I'm not.
You
It's
can't
just like,
deliver it. You can't say that and not deliver. Come on. What entertainment?
oh, I forgot what it is now, but the fans are feeling like it's the FIA are doing this for entertainment purposes for how this race one is what
What?
people.
You're talking about the red flags and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they're just doing it for the entertainment purposes, and us. But obviously, as I say, I do not really want to get into it. Just like the Michael Massey palaver. But anyway,
Yeah, look, I doubt it very much they're doing it for entertainment purposes. I think the way that the season has unfolded without too much drama, some of the stuff like the GPS thing is a complete cock up. That is a given. It's not entertainment purposes. That's just a complete cock up. How we at home can see where the cars are and the FI cannot is just beyond me. As was said by Sky, they can tell the FIA to come up here and look at our monitors. We know exactly where every car is. How come they don't? It's just a bit of a cock up there, and they'll be held responsible for that. They'll have their meetings and everything like that. Of course they will, but I don't think they're doing it for entertainment purposes. Definitely not. I mean, if they were going to do that for entertainment purposes, we're lucky then, and touch wood, we haven't had a death yet, if that were the case.
yeah. So that's why I don't really want to get into it, as it just started a debate that I don't really want to be involved in, really. But anyway, moving on to Hulkenberg. That was impressive. Haas and all that stuff.
Very.
Magnussen, yeah.
Yeah. Magnussen, well. Oh, Magnussen. Yeah.
That was impressive until the last lap when he broke down
I
just
mean,
across the
what on earth was that? Was that just being blinded by the sun? A
I don't.
miscalculation onto the curb going into that corner? I don't know, man. That at that moment, the race could have been completely and utterly different for everybody involved, bar for the top three or top two. Could have been completely a different result for everybody. And what a shame for Alpine. What a shame.
Alpine, I was talking about Hulkenberg, but okay. I was confused there,
Don't be confused.
but I am. So, but anyway, yeah, Hulkenberg came across the finish line and his car broke down. I believe it was Croft, he jinxed it, saying, how funny would it be if someone's car broke down? Or it was either one of them in the commentary. They said, oh
Mm.
yeah, say someone broke down, just what happens? Hulkenberg breaks down.
Yep.
Someone jinxed it, right there. But anyway, it was very close, between Hamilton, Alonso, Stroll, Pierre Gasly, Sainz, and I believe Hulkenberg as well. Pretty close there. It was literally like a train. You could see that they was improving, then they backed off, improving, backed off. It was constantly that for the
Yep.
half of the race until the dreaded stuff decided to happen. But
Yep.
something, again, this talking about Red Bull, what on earth happened to Max around that second to last corner? Had it
Oh, he just
over
ran wide. He just overbraked. He just ran wide.
in
He missed the apex. That's all it was. Yeah, he lost about
typical?
2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Then, as we say, we are gonna go that round in then I think we should talk about Magnuson's crash. That was pretty scary, especially with a tire flying up in the air. Jesus.
Yeah, well, yeah, Magnuson, Muppet. It's like I say, was he blinded by the sun when he came around the corner? Did he just not see, or I don't know, whatever. It seems like a brain fart, loss of concentration, into the wall, and red flag again.
The crowd and cut someone. I don't know. I think I could be wrong in saying that, but I think that did happen or something like that. But I don't know. I could be wrong in saying that, but that was just picking out little parts of analysis podcast yesterday. Hello, Sky Sports. But anyway.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I don't know, man. I mean, they were on for a good showing at least, and they were holding their own again, just like McLaren did, and maybe the tires got a little bit tired towards the end. Tires getting tired. But yeah, it's heartbreak, man. You want the underdogs to do well. You want them to be competing and get going for points and stuff like that. That's why I'm so surprised by Hulkenberg, man. He's just amazing that he's doing what he's doing with that
To take
car.
it back with a car that is doing, that's pretty impressive. That's impressive. Huh.
Yeah, it is impressive. It is impressive, but yeah.
Next, this one's directly to the FIA. Are they being too soft with penalties and what has gone on recently?
Right, you're talking about Sainz now and Alonso.
Yeah, we can speak about that now.
Okay.
So, if we go back a bit, so we had Stroll into Charles. Yeah, that's a racing incident. Then,
Yeah.
so nothing was done there. Then we had, I believe it was.
But wasn't Stroll squeezed into Charles rather than moving into Charles?
I believe he had Alonso in front of him. Then he went around the corner and he had nowhere to go, whatever. But
Okay. So hence the racing incident. Okay, right. Okay, so
yeah,
Sainz into Alonso.
yeah, I'll get to that point now. But then, as I say about the FIA, so we got to go over the crashes. So nothing was done there. Then it was either Sonoda or one of the McLaren people had a bit of contact with each other. The FIA did nothing about that either. Then
What lap was that?
I forgot what lap it was. It's round about middle. Then we had obviously we had Alonso hitting Carlos, and again we have got two different points here.
Wait.
And
Alonso hit Carlos. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Just checking.
no, Carlos hitting Alonso, whatever.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Got it.
But well done. Thank you for making me laugh. What I was saying. Then we had. Then the weirdest part was. Then Gasly had contact with his teammate of LP. We'll get to that point.
Yeah.
Then Sargent taking Nick De Vries out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one penalty with all of them incidents I've just said there, and that was Carlos and Alonso. You think people like Gasly going into Ocon having a penalty because he wasn't
going
paying
into him? Who was in
well,
front?
it doesn't matter. He
Well, it
turned.
does.
It doesn't, because you
It
moaned
does.
at me the other day when we was doing F1, because I stopped you from overtaking. You went into me, and I was
Yes,
in
because you
front of
break
you.
me.
But yeah, but still not the point.
It's
Gasly
totally the
should
point.
have.
Who was in front of that
It
accident?
doesn't.
It does
It doesn't.
matter.
Gasly. And he
Gasly.
turned.
So Gasly was in front with Ocon
Yeah.
on his outside.
Goes.
Okay. So
Yes.
So
Then
Gasly
Gasly
moved
comes
over.
over.
Yeah.
But he wasn't paying attention, was he?
Yes.
So
No, he
talking about
wasn't exactly. So that's why it's not a penalizable offence because he wasn't.
yeah, but
It
it
was
is.
just a racing incident.
Yeah, but it's still not the point. You shouldn't be. You should be full aware what's around you.
Don't they
Was
have
he?
wing
No, he.
mirrors again?
But did he use them? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
So
Exactly, the racing incident.
yeah, but we could say that with Carlos and Alonso. But
No, no,
obviously,
they had space around
no,
them.
and
It's like
it's,
talking to a brick wall sometimes. Jeepers, my word.
well, I said we're going to have a debate about this, aren't we? So, then Sergeant De Vries, nothing was done about that either, and he did there. He did basically the same thing as Carlos. Went too far into the fast into the corner. Didn't he wasn't aware of how much brake and all that stuff, and took him out. Nothing was done either there, and that's what I mean. We're gonna have a debate about this as
Oh, I'm not going
it
to have a
wasn't
debate about it. I'm just going to say
well.
the FIA need to clearly buck up their rulings. This race was nothing but chaos from the moment it started, and I think with new people within the FIA need to obviously have more of a look to see what's going on and make quicker and better decisions. Easier for us to say in hindsight 3 days later, but they need to sort themselves out and be more assertive in the decision making processes and handing out fines because it is a skew. I'm not saying it's not. It is definitely a skew. But then again, I don't have the insights on the FIA and what they look at and what they see or can't see. We can only give from a couch, a viewer's couch point of view, I guess. That's what I can call it.
But again, the other thing is, I really don't. Yeah, Carlos went into Alonso, but when the race was restarted and people were saying, "Oh yeah, they shouldn't be counting that penalty as it never happened," and I can totally see that they restarted it, and it's hard. It's a 50-50. Yeah, he should have had it, and no, he
Okay,
shouldn't have had it.
so the accident between the two Alpines shouldn't have happened then, so they can get their cars fixed and come back to track and in their position
Yeah,
because it
but it
didn't
wasn't
happen.
Carlos who. Yeah, Carlos had nothing to do with that. It was Gasly being whatever and not paying attention to
Yeah, but
who
still,
the
then
surround.
but the way that you're saying it is that because Carlos went into Alonso, that didn't happen because they brought it back to the beginning of the
Just
start of the
saying what
race.
I'm
So
just
then
saying what
the
people.
crash didn't happen then.
I'm just saying what people said.
Yeah, no,
And
I get it. I totally get it, and that's why we're having this
again,
discussion,
you
right?
speaking saying about a brick wall. That's what I'm talking to right now as well. But what it's 50-50. He should have had. Yeah, he should have had the penalty, and no, he shouldn't have had the penalty. So I, I don't know. I'm not with the FIA or anything like that, but obviously, I'm just as we say, we just people who sit on the couch and drink whatever and eat things or whatever. But I don't know. I do feel sorry for Carlos at the end of the day because But anyway, enough of that. But anyway, so we can actually stop talking to a brick wall now. Poor Russell. You speaking about people about Paul earlier, and luck and all that stuff. Poor Russell with his
Power unit failure.
yes. That was had some good luck as well.
I think
Yeah.
the to get just unfortunate timing that yellow flag to red flag stuffed him up basically and his race, which is unfortunate. But again, it's beyond their control. It's nothing that Mercedes did. But how it can go from in your favor to within a half a lap not being in your favor is it's sad. That's why this whole race is just like
Chaos.
it's just chaos. It's just madness. But then again, I don't know what I expected, but yeah,
So else, I mean, I'm surprised that we're speaking a lot about AlphaToy this time. Snowda had issues with the car. I'm not sure if you picked that up, but he did have issues towards the end. You could see he's starting to slow down and all that stuff. But a lot of issues. It's just like F1 the game. Round about 12 people finished this race, and as we say, it's just pure chaos.
yeah, mad
Shouldn't
race,
be.
absolute mad race. But overall, good points for Aston Martin. McLaren got some points, which is great. As for Ferrari, whatever.
Jumping from last to fifth now in the constructors.
Yeah,
That
it's good. It's very good. Very, very good.
and well, I'll get to the other part in a minute. Norris and Hulkenberg, that was pretty intense. That was a good bit of action right there. Them two trying to having a bit of a fight for their positions and all that stuff. Hulk got into the gravel and Lando got through. So
Yeah,
not bad. But obviously it's not good, but not bad for Lando. Bit of a muck up for Hulk, but they avoided an incident, so that's good.
I mean to finish sixth anyway for that kind of car, and besides the chaos and everything around him, very good job. 3.7 off the lead, and like I said, a chaos-filled race, really good for McLaren. Sixth and eighth, very good points. Yeah, it's nice to see, isn't it? I mean, it makes for a change.
Oh yes. We're gonna go back to a bit of a brick wall now. Going back to FIA getting Carlos and Alonso, I believe we spoke a little bit about this. The confusions about positions and whether they should have done the race. That was.
In my point of view, my point of view is just simply as this, right? And then this is all I'm going to say about it. You can waffle on as much as you want. I'm going to say this, that last red flag should have been the end of the race. In those current positions that they were in, that should have been the end of the race. It was 2 laps of absolutely stupidity to run the cars again. It should have been, that is it. Those are your positions. As I said, the outcome of the race would have been totally different. Carlos would have got his points. Alonso would have got his points, and so on and so on and so on. It should have been that. There should not have. There's too much of a big accident that to clear it up and everything like that. Just leave it be the way that it was, and everybody would have been just fine with it.
And again, going back to the penalty, you saying about Carlos with the points, that again, that's a 50-50, as you already spoke about. and we both spoke to a bit of a bit older. But anyway, what else is there? Oscar with his first points as well. That was very well done to him, especially for his home race.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo, Jogo and you, 9th.
Oh yeah,
Tsunoda, 10th. Yeah.
bit of disappointment for Bottas though.
Yeah, disappointing for Bottas, and yeah, I think he's like a bit of a journeyman at the moment. But anyway, he's done well. He's done well. He's okay. He's helping out the youngster and giving him all his years of experience and stuff like that. And it's it's interesting. Again, you can't read too much into these results considering how the race ended. So, it could have been completely different had they stopped it as and when they should have, in my opinion, of course. It's just my opinion. But it could have been completely different, and there could have been several drivers further down and back and out of points and whatever. So you can't read too much into this result, although what you can look into is a lot of the racecraft and everything and see how the cars performed and stuff like that rather than the actual result. My opinion, of course.
But anyway, that's really that. Oh yeah, we can't forget Nick De Vries having a bit of airtime as well. Not sure who he hit, but Ty's contacted sending his car up in the air. Nearly forgot about that.
Didn't even see that.
That
Bloody
was
hell. Too much going on
that
the track.
that was a couple. That's the first few laps.
Right.
I believe it's
Okay.
the first lap as well. No damage or anything, but gee.
Okay. Well, I guess we're getting to the time now where it's high, low, Muppet, and rate. The HLMR.
And we can't forget about the pit stops either. I think we should end off on that one, really. Only two people, which was Russell and Piastri, that pitted. Then obviously comes red flags and all the chaos.
Yep, all the free posts that came with it. Yeah.
Some people saying they should be taken away. Some people are saying no. And that one again, that's up to you one to decide. But anyway, we should move on to Muppet of the day and Driver of the day and what we rate and all that stuff. I'll let you.
You let me go first. Okay, I'll go first. Okay, the high of the day for me was Red Bull Perez's overtaking despite his qualification. I think he did absolutely fantastic. Some of the spots that he was doing his overtaking was just absolutely amazing. The low for me would be it's either going to be Alpine's double disaster or the constant restarting, aka the FIA, and I'm probably going to go with the FIA on this one. The Muppet for me would be Magnussen, because without that, if that didn't happen, the race could have been completely different. And yeah, that was just, I don't know what on earth that was. Not paying attention, sun in the eyes, running too wide on the curb, going to the barrier. I don't know. Rating the race wise, I started out giving it a 6. Then I thought about the excitement and the chaos and everything like that. I gave it a 7. And I'm thinking of dropping it back down to a 6.5 this time. And that's only because of the restarts. Because it kind of felt deflated after that last restart. The 2 laps ago was just stupid. I was just like, I'm over this now. I'm done. So 6.5 from me.
Not bad. But I think forgetting about it, we were saying about Alpine. 2 cars totaled, but are they totaled? And Jesus, they're going to cost a lot. And they've only got a couple of weeks until the next race. And they've got to work effortlessly through that. And I forgot who it was yesterday in the podcast that Sky did. Apparently it takes around about a month just to build a few parts, whatever it is. So they're gonna have their work cut out, especially for.
A lot of late nights in the Alpine garage, that's for sure.
But anyway, driver of the day for me, I got two of them in fact. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Two drivers of the day. Getting into the points, that's what we're going to see from McLaren. And yeah, that's my driver of the day. My pick of the day, I originally did have Gasly, but I'm swapping it out for the FIA.
Yeah.
There could be loads of them, but FIA, the whole of them, in fact.
Right.
It's not it's terrible. They're being silly people. And Racer was gonna say 10, but I'm gonna put that down to an 7. But since McLaren's got some points, 8. That's what I'm gonna say.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, that's it really. For this Australian GP.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, jeepers.
Well,
So the driver's standings as it stands right now is Max Verstappen on 69, Sergio Perez 54, Fernando Alonso on 45, Hamilton 38, Carlos Sainz 20, Lance Stroll 20, George Russell 18, and Lando actually on 8, and Hülkenberg on 6, and Charles Leclerc woefully down in 10th on 6. So that really is flippin' well done. And as for the constructors, Red Bull, man, they are just double the points of Aston Martin right now. 123, Aston Martin 65, Mercedes 56, Ferrari 26, McLaren 12, Alpine 8, and so on and so on and so on.
But the thing is Red Bull's not running out already.
We won't know until Baku.
And to the end of the year as well. Or session
Well, I mean, we might say Red Bull is their luck running out, but we could look at every single other team and ask the same question. Every single team has had a problem here or there, some worse than others. I think Red Bull have been pretty lucky. Well, not lucky, reliable. But it's going to be interesting. Going towards the end, middle of the year. But Baku is going to be interesting. That long straight, the start, finish. Oh, and who's got the pace? The Williams going to have the pace? We know they are. Or McLaren with the new parts.
Mercedes, Aston.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Alpha.
It's all relative, though, isn't it? Because everybody's going to bring their new parts as well as all the leading teams. So, just what works best for the team on the day, I guess.
The other thing is, will Alpine have their car sorted by them?
Yeah, they will. Of course, they will. They will. They'll have cars at the factory, at the main factory, already. From the moment that crash happened, they would have started building already.
They're probably building currently right now, as we speak. Yeah, they would be as well.
Yep.
But anyway, I think that does wrap
Indeed, it does. There we go, folks. If you like what you hear and you have any questions or comments, you can leave it in the comment section below on the YouTube channel. Other than that, get into the Discord. There's a Formula One community over there. And let us know what you think, what you want us to concentrate on or talk more about or whatever. We will eventually at some point, maybe in the 2024 season, have webcams and footage and all that sort of stuff. But for now, it's a podcast in its truest form. There we go.
Have you
folks.
got anything to?
I've got nothing more to add to anything other than wait for Baku in 3 weeks' time.
I'm really surprised you haven't spoken about EA, but okay.
Nah, fuck, I'm tired speaking about EA and that game. The more I play it, the more I hate it. And I've never hated on an F1 game so much as I've hated it on this. In fact, I don't think I've ever hated on an F1 game. Terrible.
Well, I will. But I'll listen to that. But anyway, I haven't got anything else to say.
Alrighty, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Formula One Breakdown podcast with me, Just Trev, and Aiden Gaming. We'll catch you all round 4, Azerbaijan, Baku. Cheers, everybody.
Bye.